People are emotional time bombs now. One tweet and they explode. One disagreement and they break down. They scream for peace but pick fights online. They want validation more than results. And in that noise, I choose silence. I don't react, I observe, I stay detached. Because the more emotional the world becomes, the more powerful the calm man becomes. Everyone wants to be heard, but no one wants to think. They want applause. They chase dopamine. I chase clarity. This is not about being cold. It's about staying in control. If you want to win, you have to stop reacting. You have to start calculating. This is how I stay emotionless. And this is how I win. Chapter 1. Emotion is the first weakness. Emotion is the quickest way to lose control. The moment you feel offended, you've already lost the upper hand. Anger makes you loud, but it also makes you predictable. Sadness makes you slow, and desperation makes you sloppy. The world feeds off reaction. It throws bait at you and waits for you to bite. But I don't take the bite. I don't flinch. I don't overthink. I don't explain. Because once they know how to trigger you, they own you. I choose to be unreadable. If they can't read me, they can't use me. When people act out, I don't match their volume. I lower mine. When chaos rises, I become still. It confuses them. It gives me power. Emotion is not weakness when you use it, but it is weakness when it uses you. Most people are ruled by their mood. They wake up anxious, scroll, get triggered, and let it destroy their day. I set my mind before the world does. That's how I stay one step ahead, and that's how I keep my edge. Chapter 2. The game is observation. While they talk, I watch. While they complain, I collect data. While they seek comfort, I study patterns. This world gives you clues, if you're quiet enough to see them. But you miss everything when you're emotional. You miss red flags. You miss power plays. You miss leverage. So I train myself to watch instead of react. I ask, what's really being said? I listen to the tone, the pauses, the hesitation. People reveal everything without meaning to, but most are too busy arguing to notice. The real weapon is not speaking first. It's letting the other person reveal their entire hand. Most people speak to win. I speak to expose. And sometimes, silence does that better than words. You don't need to match their energy. You need to understand their motive. If you can stay emotionally neutral, you'll see 10 times more. And when the world starts to burn, you'll be the one holding the extinguisher. Chapter 3. Control your face. Control the room. Your face tells them everything. Disgust, anger, frustration, annoyance. All of it gives them free information. So I keep my expression flat. Not cold, just unreadable. Because when they don't know what I'm thinking, they start to second guess what they're saying. That gives me the advantage. Are you judging me? Are you even listening? Yes. I'm listening to more than your words. I'm watching how badly you want validation, and how easily I could manipulate that. But I don't. Because control is not about abuse. It's about restraint. You don't win by forcing people to obey. You win by making them think they're in control. So while they try to read me, I'm already 10 steps into their next move. Your calm face is not weakness. It's dominance in disguise. If they can't predict you, and unpredictability is power. Chapter 4. Most people talk too much. The more you talk, the more they study you. They'll remember what made you laugh, what made you defensive, what topics made you passionate. And all of that becomes leverage they can use later. I don't give them that. I say what's necessary. Then I stop. Because mystery is a better defense than explanation. People feel uncomfortable with silence. So they keep talking to fill the gap. But that gap is where I listen. That's where I gain ground. I don't rush to answer. I pause. I calculate. And when I speak, it hits. Not because it's loud, but because it's sharp. There is no value in being loud if you have no direction. But there's massive value in being silent with purpose. Talk less. Mean more. That's the rule I live by. Chapter 5. Detachment builds precision. If your emotions are involved, your vision is fogged. You start to interpret reality through your feelings instead of facts. I detach from the outcome. I don't get obsessed with winning arguments. I focus on gaining clarity. That way, I see what others miss. If someone betrays me, I don't scream. I log the data. I adjust. If plans fall apart, I don't panic. I rebuild. Quietly. Detachment is not being numb. It's being focused. It means not letting life throw you off your axis. While others spiral, I stay centered. Because when you're precise, you can cut through the noise. Emotion makes you impulsive. Detachment makes you surgical. That's how I move. Chapter 6. The triggered mind is a caged mind. When you're easily offended, you become easy to control. The world throws headlines and outrage and pity your way, and you eat it up. You click. You comment. You rage. But me, I don't take the bait. Because every time you get triggered, you're showing the world what button to push. And if they know the button, they own the remote. I refuse to give that power away. If someone insults me, I don't argue. I let silence do the talking. If someone misunderstands me, I don't explain. I let time reveal the truth. If someone plays games, I make sure they realize they were the only one playing. Don't get dragged into emotional quicksand. Rise above it. Let people scream into the void. You move forward in silence. Chapter 7. Emotions are tools, not leaders. I don't suppress emotion. I control it. I use anger to fuel training. I use fear to sharpen my senses. I use sadness to connect with my purpose. But I never let any of them lead me. Because when emotion is the leader, your logic is just a passenger. I reverse that. My logic drives. My emotion rides along. And when necessary, I pull over and let it out. But only when I choose to. Emotions are not the enemy. Lack of control is. Feel it. Understand it. Use it. But don't let it hijack you. Chapter 8. Your calm is intimidating. People will test you just to get a reaction. They want to see if they can shake your foundation. When you don't react, it terrifies them. Because most people aren't used to discipline. They're used to drama. So when you show up calm, focused, silent, you break their pattern. You make them uncomfortable in their own chaos. That's power. They'll say you're emotionless. They'll say you're arrogant. Let them. They don't understand that control looks like stillness. You don't need to prove your strength. You need to master it. That's what calm is. Not the absence of fire, but fire that doesn't burn everything around it. Chapter 9. Reactions are free data. Watch how people react under pressure. Watch how they behave when they're ignored. Watch what they say when they feel threatened. Reactions expose character. They tell you who's real, who's strategic, and who's ruled by ego. I use reactions as a map. They reveal fear. They reveal insecurity. And sometimes, they reveal obsession. If I know what makes you react, I know where you're weak. And I never show mine. Because strength is not just about offense. It's about defense. And the best defense is silence. Chapter 10. Build inner stillness like a fortress. The world will test you. Daily. Insults. Betrayals. Disappointments. It's not a question of if. It's when. So I build a fortress inside. One that doesn't shake every time the wind changes. That means routines. That means reflection. That means reminding myself that calm is a weapon. I don't rely on motivation. I rely on discipline. I don't need external approval. I know my path. Stillness is built. It's not given. So while the world gets louder, I go deeper into silence. Because from silence comes control, and from control comes power. Final thoughts. You don't need to match the world's energy. You need to rise above it. While they scream for attention, you master focus. While they explode over opinions, you remain grounded in facts. Calm is your edge. Silence is your strategy. Discipline is your weapon. Control your reactions. Control your outcomes. In a world that's always triggered, be the one who stays unmoved. That's how you win. Be elite, stay elite.